I forgot to show the how to deploy the additional things. Okay, so now in the deployment process, I can deploy the report, old report, by clicking on the report deploy. I can deploy individual data set also. When I click deploy, only this one will be deployed. Sorry, yeah, right click and deploy. You can see at the bottom, only that one will be deployed. Even for the report, sometimes you may add new report. Okay, I have added a new report, new item. Actually, let's say the report will not have anything. It's a report, I'll say as test report. Okay, test report add. That's it, a report I added. So the report will not have anything, any data set or nothing. I'll just insert a text box. The text box will have some date time. So text box properties, expressions. Done. Okay, so when I execute, it will just show the time. That's it. Okay, so now if I want to deploy a report, instead of deploying all, just I can right click on this deploy. That's it. Automatically the report will be deployed. See now. Okay, now when I go here, when I go to my folder, SSRS folder, when I click, now that report will be deployed here. Okay, this is the other way to deploy. Only one report you can deploy. Now we'll be seeing one by one now. Okay, so in order to give the security, you will go here report, you'll do the manage. That is the other way. And one more thing is that you can deploy the reports in two ways. By clicking on this deploy, that is the other way. That is the one way. Normal way, the standard way. If you want to do in other ways, let's say the users, they might be giving only RDL file and they will ask you to deploy. So you can't deploy a single RDL file, right? Let's say the users, they might give this way. Okay, documents. So let's say there is one report, copy. I have the report somewhere on the desktop, some test files. Okay, so the user will give this RDL file and they will ask you to deploy. How to deploy? Okay, so there is nothing, right? You can deploy from Visual Studio, but you can't directly deploy from here. When I click, it will show something because it can't be open, right? It can be opened by Visual Studio. So then normally what you can do is that you can click on the upload file, go to the browse. Now you can give the path of that. Where it is located, it is located on desktop, test SSIS. This is the file, right? So you can select that way. That is the one way you can do. Okay, that is the other way. If they had provided your normal RDL file and if they ask you to deploy, then you can deploy this way. Just go to the browser and upload. Okay, so now one thing will be worrying. So you can see here new folder. You can add a new folder. You can also create a new data source here, like shared data source. Okay, instead of creating the shared data source on the report level, you can also create a data source here for a report, and then you can point the data source to each and every report. How to change the data sources in the reports is click, go to the manage. Now you can see all the things: data sources, subscription, process options, cache, report history, snapshots, and security. So we have seen the security. Okay, property is nothing but it will show the report properties, when it was created. Okay, who created it, when did it got modified, that all things it will show you. Okay, now data source is nothing but the connection. If you have that data source, it's okay. If you want to change the data source, you can go to the browse and you can change it, because you will be creating a data source on your server and you will point the data source, you will be pointing to that server database data source. Okay, now I'll click, I'll go. See, now you can see, you can also create a linked report. You can also see a view report history. When I click on the report history, because they are nothing, so that's the reason it's not showing. I'll be showing that how to create the report history. Okay, see, manage, security, like security, download. You can download the report also. Like if you want to download the report, if you want this report on your local machine, just you can do the download. And you like the same way we do it, right? The same way you can download the report and you can keep it in the local machine. Okay, now, but majority of the thing you can do the, see, you can also open the report in the report builder. Now if I want to modify the report something, if I want to modify the report in some way, like minor report, minor change. So what normally I need to go to the report server, like Visual Studio, then change it, right? Instead of that, I can directly click on the report, open on the report builder. It's a tool. It's a kind of end user tool where you can make minor changes. It's fine, but normally it is not suggestible way. So you need to do the changes in the Visual Studio only. But if you want, you can do. If it's a very minor change only, you can do it. Okay. See, I see whatever the report I got it here. When I want to run, I can run it here. Okay. So now I'll go to the design. Now I'll add one more text box. That's it. I'll give 1. That's it. So now when I run it, now I'll get the 1 here. See. Now I'm saving this one. Done. Close it. Now when I run the report, now I can see the 1 value here. Okay. Like that you can modify if you want to, if you have some small minor changes, then only you can use this test report. And if the report is not complex one. If it's a basic report, then you can edit the report on the browser level itself. Okay. So now this manage is an important thing. When I go to the manage, right? First we'll go to the subscriptions. Okay. I'll be explaining the subscription at the end. Okay. What is subscription? I'll explain it. The subscription means, I think Vinay, you were asking, right? How to schedule the report. Okay. I'll explain now. I'll explain now only that. That's it. So what I'll do, I can click on the new subscription. Now, do I need to have the delivery method or Windows file share? Whichever I want, I can select it here. Okay. In order to have the email, so before that, what you need to do is that in the server report server configuration, there is a email settings. Here you need to create your the SMTP server, that everything here. Okay. You need to give your SMP server details and you need to set. After setting only, after doing your SMP setting, then only you will be getting an option called email. Then you can have the whatever thing email address you want. You can have the different users email address. Okay. At the same time, you can send the report in different formats. Whether HTML, you can send it in Excel, you can send it in Word, you can also send it in the PDF also. Okay. That's it. So whichever format you want, you can select and done. That's it. So you can schedule. So if you want to select the report every daily or weekly, select schedule. The same way we schedule the job, right? In the SSIS package on the, okay. The same way you can schedule your job. If you want to do the run the report daily, you can run accordingly. Okay. And just clicking cancel. That is the thing. If you want to have the browser, just click on the Windows file share. Then you will give the path here. Whichever format you want, you will give. If you want to have user ID and password, you will give that. That's it. Done. Okay. This is the way how you are going to create a subscription for the reports. Okay. So now I'll go to the manage. So we are good with the subscription. We will go to the process options. See when I click on the processing option, what it's showing? Do not cache temporary copies of this report. Okay. When I click cache a temporary copy of the report, expiry copy of the report after number of minutes. Okay. What is meant by this is that basically this might be very much useful when you consider something like performance issue. Let's say there is a report. Okay. So there is a report. Report is pulling the data from the data source, some data source. Okay. And to pull the data, it takes like 10 minutes. Let's say it takes not 10. Let's say it takes 1 minute to pull the data. Okay. So the users will run this report every 5 minutes. And like they will run from morning to evening. Every 5 minutes they will run this report. The one user will run at 9 o'clock, other user will run at 9:05, other user will run at 9:10 or something like it. Depends. Okay. So now, whenever this report runs, for each time it will go to the data source, get the data and it will run. So here let's assume that the data in the data source will not change to that day. It will only change the next day. Okay, every day it will change only one time, that is at a night. After that it will never change. Okay. So now what happens if any user, let's say the user runs for every 5 minutes, right? Every 5 minutes it will go and it will take 1 minute to execute that query, get the results and display in the report. So the let's say the report is run 20 times in a day, 20 times. Okay. So 20 times into 1 minute. So 20 minutes is wasted in execution of the report, right? So what they do, they will create a cache for this, and they'll give some expiry time for that cache. Okay. So what happens? So what happens here is that, so first time when they create a report, it will take 1 minute. Whatever the output it got, it will store the output in a cache. Cache is nothing but some, assume it is a temporary space. Done. And at the cache, you will also give what is the expiration for that. 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 100 minutes, 200 minutes, or whatever thing you want. See, I can give 900 minutes also. Okay, whatever the minutes I want, I can give. Let's say I'll give like this cache will expire after 300 minutes. Okay, 300 by 60 means 5 hours. So the cache will expire after 5 hours. Then what happens? Up to 5 hours. So let's say we started this at 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. Whoever runs the report up to 5 a.m. Okay, up to then. So we'll keep PM. PM will be okay, because no one will run the reports in the daytime, right? Okay, to 5 p.m. up to 5 p.m. So first time when they run the report, the results, it will take 1 minute to execute. The results will be stored in a temp location. After that, so like when the user run at 12 o'clock, it will take 1 minute. Results will be stored in a temp one. When the user runs at 12:05 p.m., then what happens? Like 12 means it's a 00, right? 0:05 p.m. 00 and 05. Okay, because the report is there in the temp, so now the report will not execute, the report will not go to the data source and get the data. It will just use the temp data as a reference. It will just use the temp data. It will not at all take the old data. Okay, are you able to get my point? Okay, so after 5 hours, until then, whichever user runs between this 12 and 5, they will be getting the same temp data. So whenever the user runs, because we had given the cache as 5 hours, right? So at 5:01 p.m., if the user runs this report, what happens? That existing temporary will be erased, and now it will go and get the data, and that data will be stored in again the cache. Okay, that is nothing but the cache temporary. You can try that one. Okay, you can also do, this is the one way. You can give the minutes. You can also give the time also here. See. Okay, because I have given some null expiration day value. Okay, so now I can give my own thing here. Report specific schedule. I can schedule my own report when it should be there. Okay, and one more thing is that you can see expired copy of a report on the following schedule. Okay, means you are going to create a, so it will be created, and this will be executed. It will be executed, like here Debon you are giving minutes, but here you can give some time. Okay, at this time the cache should be like it should be expired. Okay, so that's the thing. You can do that anytime. Whatever thing you want, you can play around with that. Okay, and one more thing is that, see, I'm creating this cache on the processing option on the test data server, right? When I click this on the EMP, go to the manage, and the EMP go to the manage, go to the processing options. Okay, I'll click here. So what we are going to do is that click on the click. I'll just give 2 minutes. Okay, click 2 minutes, apply. Okay, see, when I do this, it will not it will throw an error. Why? Because this is using a data source. So you can see clearly, you can see in the processing options. I'll just give cache 30 minutes and apply. Now you can see credentials used to run the report are not stored. Okay, see, credentials means you are accessing a data source, right? Always whenever you create this caching, history, snapshot, or cache refresh option, anything, by default, okay, you need to, so that data source, see here data source, I'm just using a data source, okay, shared data source. But the thing is that the shared data source, use a security logins for that. You can't directly use a Windows authentication to get access to the data source. Okay, why? Because this caching means you are not running, the system automatically does the caching. So systems, processing, cache both are same, right? When the system try to do that, it will not have access to do that, because the system automatically does at the back end, right? So that's the reason system will not have. So for that purpose, what I'll be doing, this test EMP is using the SSRS shared data sources test, right? I'll go to the SSRS. Shared data source means detail view, shared data sources. Okay, I'll click on the shared data sources, click on the test, manage, or I can click on the manage. Now here I can use my credentials. Okay, I can use my credentials. So I'll be using buttons. When I use my credentials, so automatically when the system tries to does, it will use my credentials and it will generate a cache. Okay, password. That's it. Okay, now as I said, we should always save that one, apply. After apply only you will be able to get it. Now I add credentials to the data source, right? Go to the SSRS. Now I'll go to the title view. It's a EMP table, right? Click on this, go to the manage, go to the processing options. Now when I try to create for 30 minutes, right? Now you can see I will not be getting any error, see, because now I have credentials. So when the system tries to get that, it will automatically have the credentials, so it is fine. Okay, apply. I have applied. It's for 1 minute, right? Done. When I go to the SSRS, I'll run the EMP report. Oh, it's a Badams or BHASKR or EDDY? Badams or Badam? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, since because I need to set up this security for this. Okay. Normally, prior to this, you need to set up a security for the between the server. Now, generally, it will take, because while installing, I am not as administrator. So that's the reason it didn't select me here. Okay, but basically it's a kind of like they'll be calling like Kerberos setting. Okay, normally DBS it's a kind of DBA job, because I try to create once, it's a kinds of complex settings. Okay, they'll be creating access between the report server and the database. So when they create that, then only it will be easy for you to access them. Okay, so now it is being failed, but before that I have ran the same EMP report, right? At that time it didn't fail, but for caching purpose it failed, because it caches on the server. So that server I don't have access. So because of that reason it is unable to do. So that's why what I did is that I'll just use my test one, because test is not at all using any database, right? So that's why I will use a test. Go to the manage. Now click on the processing options. I can give whatever the thing I want. Cache 1 minute, or I'll give 2 minutes. Apply. Done. Okay, see, apply, done. Now see the cache refresh. You don't have anything. Now click on the test report. See 9, 12, 55, because this is that whenever I run the report I'll get that time. See, so this is my report, right? When I click on the test report, when I see the preview, oh, test report. So when I see the preview, now I will get the time 9:13:21. Okay. Again, when I see after like see 29, 30, 9:13:31, 9:32:32, like the second time is saving, right? But on the browser, let's see on the browser. See, it is showing the 55 only. It is not at all changing the time, because we are given the cache for 2 minutes, right? So at 57 time the cache will change. Up to that time you will get the same timing, because it is just using, as I said in the cache, it will not go and get the latest data. It will just use the temporary data which is stored in the cache. అర్థమైందా మీ అందరికీ? Now if I do it like after 2 minutes, so around like 9:12, right? 9:12 35, 13:55 and 14, 9:14 55 seconds. Okay, 9:14 55. So it is some time. So when it comes to 9:14 55, at that time only 2 minutes will complete, then it will get the new time, and it will again, that same report data will be used for me for next 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll just wait for 10 seconds. I think it will be done. So you can refresh it now. See, 12:55 only. 12:55 only. Oh, it's not at all changing. See now it got changed. Okay, after 2 minutes it got changed. Okay, the same way it will be there. So I can give 2 minutes, I can give 30 minutes. How much time I want, I can give it. Okay, that is nothing but the this one, processing one. Okay, now I'll go to the processing option. I'll just ignore this. I don't want to do anything and ignore. Next, click on the cache refresh options. Okay, so now processing means, okay, do not cache temporary copies of the report. Okay, now when I go on the refresh options, sorry, I need to show one more thing. Processing options, I'll just give the cache for 1 minute. Okay, apply. I'll run the test. So it has been executed. Go to the SSRS report, click on this and manage. Okay, when I click on the report history, you can't see that report history. Basically, the cache is stored on the database side. Okay, generally, whatever the thing you are showing, the cache is nothing but it will store on the reports tempo DB. So normally you can see on the report server, when I connect to the database, right? When I connect to my database, Badam's MS SQL server database, not the reporting services, you can see 2 reports folders there. Okay, you can see 2 databases. I think when I have installed, you can see one with the report server, other with the report server tempo DB. Oh, why don't I do? Oh, showing an error. Okay. Yeah. So now you can see 2 databases, report server and report server tempo DB. Okay, that databases will be used for storing this all temporary data on the from the browser side. Okay, it is exclusively, it is for the report server only. So by default, when you install the report services, automatically 2 database will be created on that server database instance. Okay, అర్థమైంది అందరికీ? Hello. So now I'll just ignore this. I don't want this and ignore apply. Now see, when I click the cache refresh options, this is other concept. And when I see the new cache refresh options, cannot be created basically because the item test is not set up for caching. Do you want to enable the caching for this report? Okay. I see, now I got this message. Okay, I'm clicking cancel. Now when I click this, I'll get the result. So I'll just clicking cancel. Go to the process options. Now I'll create a cache here. Apply. Okay, now I'll go to the cache options. Now when I do, see, now I'll not be getting that one. Are you able to see my point? Okay, it's kind of like both are same. Okay, processing options, whatever you do here, the same thing you can do it in the cache refresh options also. You can go here, you can call, you can schedule the report when it should be cached, and you can schedule, you can stop this one. Okay, so like that you can keep whatever thing you want, you can do it. Are you able to get my point? Okay, the same thing will be there here also. See, whatever the option I am getting when I do the configure, the same options you will be getting here also. In the processing options, when I do here schedule, the same thing. See, whatever thing you have it, right, is a kind of the same thing. Cache refresh options and processing options are the same. And one more thing you need to remove of the cache refresh options is that, let's say if you have 3 parameters, let's say the report, you are passing some parameters to the report. Okay, so for every parameter, so let's say I am passing year as a parameter. So this is my report. So I think I have created some parameters report, right? It's a report 2, yeah, it's a not report 2, report 4, I think it's a parameter one. Yeah, when I preview here, I'll have the 2013 and quarter 1, right? Okay, when I execute this, if I create a cache for this report, when I execute, now cache is created for this year and this quarter, combination of this year and quarter. When I run this to quarter 2, again a cache is created separately for this. And if I run this again the 1, okay, since already a cache is created, so it will just use the existing one. It will not again generate a new cache. Okay, for every combination of a unique parameters, it will create a new cache there. Okay, so now report history is nothing but you can create a report history by using the snapshots. See, in the report history it is showing new snapshot. When you go to the snapshot options, here also you can do a snapshots here. Okay, snapshot is nothing but whenever you run the report, that report data, that report output will be taken and it will be stored, so that next time you can see that last output of the report. Okay, basically this is useful when the users tries to run the report day to day. So sometimes the data may not be same in all the days. Let's say the user wants to see the list of people who didn't pay their school fees. Okay, there's a department, like let's say not only that, yeah, let's say the company wants to see the list of employees, okay, who didn't took their leave for this particular year. Okay, now I got it, like up to Jan, let's say it's a Jan, February, March, like to December. I want to get the list of employees who didn't take their leave, like who had not taken their leave for December, Jan. They didn't even take a single day for Jan. So you will get that report. Next in February, I want to run a report. So you will get the data for February. You will get data for the March. So in the March, if I want to see compare all the 3 lists, then again I need to run the report, right? So because of that, there will be no need for you. So directly you can create a snapshot. So whenever you run, that report will be stored. Okay. So now what I'll be doing, I'll create a snapshot here, allow a report history to be created manually, or else I'll directly use the following schedule to add a snapshot to the report history. So now following schedule means I'll just take all the days. Anyway, I'm going to delete it. Okay. So repeat, yeah, once. So I want to do every hour. Okay. I want to repeat this schedule for every 1 minute. Okay. Start time is 2 a.m. and done. I'm okay. So it is start time is 2 a.m. It started from 2 a.m. So it will be done now. Okay. I'll just click OK. Now a snapshot is created for me. See, one more thing. A snapshot is created, and that snapshots you can view in the report history. Okay. When I go to SSRS report, for test I have created, right? I run the test report, go to the test here. Now click on the report history. Yeah, because sorry, I created a snapshot time, right? So what did I allow report history to be created? Oh yeah, because now I need to give this point also. I not created this point. And one more thing, I said, right, when I created this schedule, I forgot to apply, I think. Okay, that's the reason it didn't saved. So go to the hour. Now I'll again give 2 minutes. 1 minute, 1 minute. It starts from 2 a.m. Okay, done. Now I need to create an applet. That's the thing. When I clear it, then only see. I'm storing the snapshot in the history also. Okay, then only I can see them. See, for creating a snapshot, you should always have SQL Server agent running. That is important thing. So I'll go here. Now remember one thing. I'll create a SQL Server agent. When I expand the jobs, there are only 3 jobs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are only 3 jobs, right? I'll just start it. Okay, now I have started this one. Okay, I have started my SQL Server agent. It's nothing but browsers and agent is again, they are all related. Okay, so now again I'll go to the snapshot back. So now I'll do the apply. Now it will be created. Now you can see a job created here. I'll just refresh it. Now automatically a job is created here. See, okay, but it means nothing but snapshot means a job, a SQL Server job is created. When you click here, automatically the job is going to run the report every minute, and it is going to store that in the report history. Okay, so now if I run the report, so it will run every minute. That's it. So automatically you can see that one in the there. Are you able to get my point? Hello? Okay. Yeah, it's at 2 a.m. Okay. Actually, it should run every 0 hour and 1 minute. I think let's wait for 1 minute and see. Yeah, see. Automatically, a snapshot has been created for this particular minute. See, 25:06, right? 9:25:06. So again, after 1 minute, exactly at 9:26 minute, again a new report will be created here by default. Okay. So whenever the user wants, they can directly click that and they can get the data automatically. Okay. So let's wait for 1 minute. Yeah, 9:25. Now it's a 9:26. See, I'll just refresh it. Oh, you see. Can you see this? I didn't run the report, right? See. Okay. This is the way how you are going to create the snapshots automatically. And the snapshot is nothing but you are creating them in the report history. That's it. Okay. I'll just I'll delete them. Are you able to get my point? So that's it. Report history and snapshots. So see, when I go to the report history, now it is asking a snapshot. When I click, what happens? When I click a new snapshot, automatically the report will execute. That output will be created by default here. Okay. See, when I click another snapshot, see, automatically one more has been added here. Okay. So this is, and one more thing in the snapshot, you can limit the history. You are storing that report history, right? You can limit them. You can just 20, you can store 100. Whatever amount you want, you can store there. Okay. If I have the copy to up to 1 and apply, automatically when I go to the history, see, I'll just have 2 only. Now if I add a new snapshot, see, one will be erased and new one will be inserted. Okay, now the latest one is 27, right? Old one is 26, 926, latest one 927. Now when I add now, see, 926 will be removed. Okay, because it's showing only two history records. Okay, like that you can also limit. Are you able to get my point? That's it with the browser, nothing more than that. Okay, properties is a normal general thing where it will show you the different properties of the report. Okay, and subscriptions to deploy or to manage, processing options and cache options, nothing but the same. Report history and snapshot option, but you can create a report history based on the snapshots, or you can directly go to the report history. When you click this one, a new snapshot is created there. Okay, like this, it will just take the output of the report and it will store here generally. Now this one you can execute. If you want to export this to PDF or that all you can do manually. అర్థమైందా మీ అందరికీ? Okay, this is the way how you will be working on the report level side, on the browser level side. That's it, nothing more on the browser level. Security is important, snapshot option, cache option. So whenever you might be feeling that okay, whenever the user runs the same report couple of times and expect that there you will get the same data. Like let's say the user will be running the report for the last year. Okay, last year data will never change, right? Whenever the user executes the report, it will go to the database and gets the last year data only. No one will change the last year data. So you can create a cache for that. So whenever the user executes, so instead of going to the database and getting the data, it will just get the data from the cache itself. It's a kind of time saving process, right? Hello? Okay, that's it. That's it with the on the report server level and the browser level. Okay, so I'm stopping the video.